talks about are more apparent when you're on a boat sailing on the Atlantic Ocean and looking towards Almond Beach. The coastline was right here just a few years ago. Now it's much more inland. To understand more about what's happening here, I asked local scientist and engineer Dr. Kofi Dalrymple about coastal erosion in Guyana generally. Dr. Kofi, people are hesitant to talk about the effects of sea level rise on coastal erosion, but the first thing I wanted to sort of explain is, what is coastal erosion?
Right. So you can think of coastal erosion as sort of a loosening of the coast itself. So you have this, what we call the shoreline, and it's this dynamic space where the land and the sea meet. And it's not a fixed line, as you know. The sea goes back and forth, and the land tends to change over time, over decades and even thousands of years. So the coastline naturally evolves through this process of what we call erosion, where the material is removed and taken offshore, and what we call accretion, where material comes back and builds up on the coast. So erosion is essentially the removing of land material away from land.
I think why some people are hesitant is because with coastal erosion, as you mentioned, there's this cycle of erosion and accretion.
Right.
But do you believe there's some connection between climate change and rising sea levels and coastal erosion?
Yeah, definitely. So I always want to explain that, and I want to reinforce the point that the coast is a dynamic system, right? When you look at Guyana, for example, all of this, maybe even going further inland, was marshland, right? And through sort of years of what we call impolarization of the coast, we've put up seawalls, and we've basically tried to keep the sea at bay. So the sea was a sort of accustomed to just kind of coming in, because the land is low when the tide is high. So without any coastal defense, without anybody living here, that sea would have gone in and then come back naturally, right? As you settle on the land, now you have an issue, right? Because as I said, you've got agricultural activity, economic activity, people are living on the coast. What climate change does to that sort of natural process is that as the sea rises, its ability to go further inland increases. So its ability then to remove land, right, increases. So the potential for coastal erosion goes up as well. And so there's a direct link between rising sea levels and sort of coastline recession.
Dr. Dalrymple says more research specific to the Shell Beach area would prove insightful. Already though, the PSE, based on the information provided, believes that erosion has drastically decreased and changed the initial structure of the Almond Beach coastline and forced residents to migrate. Still, the PSC believes that Almond Beach, and wider Shell Beach, serves as a viable ground for nesting sea turtles. The situation is a bit more complicated for those who still live there. Sita's father, Liston Augustus, retired recently after teaching for decades. He knows he should probably move more inland, but fishing and farming on the beach are his main sources of income.
I haven't tried because I really don't have no other kind of alternative to where we can go and occupy a land to live, no? But that's why you have to still remain there, still have to be there yet.
So is a case where the coast coming in, is it coming up to your house or are you more inland?
Well, actually, it coming to close to our house. When the water adjusts like this, 10 meters or even closer, we normally move again. Our house break down and we have to move again. The third time now since we keep moving on. It happens like every 3 years or more, depends on how fast the water coming in.
As long as the turtles continue nesting at the Shell Beach area, there will be efforts to monitor and protect them. But for the remaining residents who face losing their homes and livelihoods, inland migration may be their best bet. Benjamin said an area at Cairns Hill, another indigenous community found much closer to Mabaruma, is being prepared for the remaining families. Some may move, but some may remain on the beach. Reporting for the newsroom, Vishani Raghabir.
From the west coast of Africa to North and South America, Cuba and the Caribbeans, the Yoruba came in mass.
The Yoruba were a people who came from a thriving empire, an empire that had subject states, an empire that was well organized, well structured, well founded.
We had this song that has been sung in our palais since our ancestors came, and it said, "We are your children, my God, do not throw us away." For me, it's a very sad song because it reminds me of the pain of my ancestors.
Spirituality is embedded in human beings. The superstructure, what sort of manifests spirituality, is what we call religion.
Hundreds of years after their arrival to the New World, their culture might have survived it all.
A cultura do povo Yorubá foi muito importante para a emancipação, para a liberdade do povo que estava negro, africano, que estava aqui escravizado.
It was during the Civil Rights ages. We were opening Yoruba culture to the black people that had no knowledge of where they came from, had no knowledge of ancestors.
Baba was a part of many black nationalist movements. They went to Detroit, Michigan at Aretha Franklin's father's church. Detroit Police Department showed up and just unloaded on the church.
And they started shooting up the church. We had women and children with us. Our soldiers fired back until they had no more ammunition. Meanwhile, the Black Panthers got a hold of what was happening to us.
Yoruba culture did not teach turn the other cheek. On the contrary, Yoruba culture celebrates the god of war, absolutely execrates oppression. So you can see that Yoruba even played a role in liberation struggle in Latin America and in the struggle for human rights.
The people who began the village came from the Black Panthers, they came from the Martin Luther King movements, they came from the civil rights movements, the Malcolm X movements, Stokely Carmichael. They were fired up.
We are nothing without Africa.
When people are deeply immersed in their own spirituality, it doesn't matter where they go. Within the secular world, they preserve that inner system of beliefs, of relationship with outside phenomena, with nature, and this in turn manifests itself in cultural production, which these slaves took across the Atlantic with them.